Hello darling fellow Scorpios, thank you for joining me for your September reading. I'm Lorien and this is going to be a general reading for Scorpio Moon, Sun and Rising sign. Also, if you have your Venus in Scorpio, that's something that you can look into for the general energies for your love reading as well. So let's have a look and see what comes through for you guys today. I should point out that this is a general, so if you want a personal reading to see how maybe the eclipses are going to affect you, or if you have a question or two that you want answered, then you can email me lorientarot@gmail.com, or you can just click the link to my website and all the readings that I have are available on there too. I must also stress, if you want a particular length of video reading, just ask me, because not every single 20 minutes, 40 minutes is not all on there, so just email me and I can do something custom made for you. Alright, so let's see what's coming through for Scorpios this month. Using the Everyday Witch Tarot deck by Deborah Blake again, because it's a really cool deck. Come on, give me some information here. It's kind of intense energy. The energy I'm getting is a very deep blue. It's a beautiful blue. It's something that's very much about higher learning and spirituality. So Scorpio 2017. Scorpio 2017. September. Okay, 1, 2, 3. They said do it in 3, so there we go. Knight of Swords. Cool. Hopefully the contrast will settle down in a second. And then you got the Ace of Swords, you got the Three of Cups, beautiful. And then we have the Chariot. I'll just move my little thing there. Awesome, awesome, awesome start. And then we have, oh wow, the Lovers, Queen of Wands, Nine of Wands, wow. And then we have the Two of Wands. So beneath the Four of Cups. Alright, this is a pretty damn good reading, if I'm to be honest with you, and it's not just because I'm a Scorpio. It is actually a pretty good reading. Oh no, it won't all fit. Never mind. Let's have a look and see what comes through then for us all. That's my chair creaking. Okay, so you're stepping into different roles in the next few weeks, I would say. You're stepping into various things that you believe you should be, that you believe you ought to be. And I would also say that there's quite a high level in fact, of nurturing that you may be doing for yourself and others. You're probably going to be reaching out to people and trying to kind of not make amends, but connect on a very base level with people for kind of nurturing and saying, look, hey, I know I may not have been around for a while, but I'm around now and I'd like to kind of chat with you or something. If you have fallen off the grid a little bit because of all the other stresses that you've gone through over the last few months, I think now you're actually moving into something maybe more cohesive for you, and something that maybe feels like you're actually looking past the issues you've had, the staggers you've had, the issues that maybe have forced you backwards, and you're now going into something that's entirely new. Because for me, a lot of clients have been saying, this basically can sum it up. A lot of clients to me have been saying, look, Lorien, I feel like I'm a street car, or like a racing car, and I'm revving up and I'm like, come on, come on, come on, but nobody's lifting that barrier. Like, I can't get through it. There's like, it's not telling me to go yet, and I'm using all this energy. I've got all this energy to go, and I've got the will to go. I just can't seem to get past this barrier that's there. This is you overcoming that barrier. This is you having that motion, that opinionated, very stark contrast of, hey, I'm going to do this. This is you putting thought into action rather than just thinking about it. This is you doing it. This is you going, no, 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 I'm not doing this anymore. I'm just not going to go, oh well, it didn't work out. well, back to the drawing board, or let's try something else. No, I'm going to damn well put my foot down and I'm going to get there. Now this could be maybe in line with a crush that you have on somebody, whoops, or something that you need or know that you have to solve with your relationship. Maybe it's something that you're like, hang on a second, you're taking liberties here, I'm not here for this. So you could be saying you have to now finally put your foot down about that. It could be somebody treating you very badly at work, putting your foot down. It could be even your boss or somebody in your family trying to take advantage of you and saying, hey, this is not something that I want to do. No. This is me saying, look, I want to go this way, I'm going this way, and nobody can take this from me. I'm meant to do this thing. I am meant to be who I am, and I'm meant to put this kind of thing in perspective. Stop trying to pull me down. That is what I think is coming up for you the beginning of September, and this could be to do with the eclipse, to be perfectly honest with you. But then we have the Lovers card, and the Lovers card is very much about partnerships, but not just of the romantic kind. It could be about a Gemini, or it could be something that seems to be kind of like you are maybe having a love relationship with yourself. You know, maybe you have to see yourself as somebody who's worthy of affection and love, and worthy of this balance that needs to come through. This is the balance of masculine and feminine, and I think that this is something that you can devote your time to. You can have this balance. You can see the spiritual energy that's coming through from you. And I do feel that this is also a unity, just to skip a little, this is a unity between the mundane and the spiritual. So on one side you've got money, house, job, blah, but on the other side it's kind of like you're very spiritual, or else you wouldn't be watching these readings, and it's kind of like you're trying to get into that spiritual center of yourself. You know, if you believe in angels, or if you believe in guardians, you're probably going to be looking more into that and seeing whether it can actually tie up with what you believe yourself, and find something that you can really utilize for yourself. So ultimately it could be kind of like, hey, I'm putting my foot down in this because I really want to be a very strong person, and this is kind of how I'm going forwards. And you do that by looking at your spirituality. So it's something to think about. The universe has your back anyway. Partnerships should have your back, friends should have your back, but you should have your back most of all, I think. So if you look at it going, hell with this, I'm going to take every opportunity that I see. I'm going to enter into every competition. I'm going to, just try and put yourself forwards a little bit, because you may be surprised by the result you get. We've got the Ace of Swords here. So this could be basically about potential, power, victory, clarity. Normally it's about potential. Hang on. I actually think this is you getting the thing that you have coming down here. This is your spirituality. You sent out the request to the universe. You're getting the answer. You're getting the kind of stuff that comes down here. And I do feel that this is you getting the power from that spirituality. This could be something that you've won. This could be an argument. It could be just respect. But I also think that very much so, it just feels like there's a lot of potential coming through from this. I think there's a lot of incredible intricacy from this card. I do feel that there's more maybe that you've kind of overcome with people in the past. Maybe you've had to shove somebody aside and just gone, hey, this is not how I roll here. This is not something that I can do. You've had to kind of, again, put your foot down, but maybe you've had to kind of let somebody go, some aspect of your life go. That way you can become a Queen of Wands. Now, this isn't necessarily being somebody new. This is just somebody who I think either is a very strong fire sign to yourself, but I also feel that this could be a very calm, intuitive, but exuberant personality. And I think this is kind of what you're coming into now. You may feel a little bit playful. You may feel a little bit like a matron, but kind of walking around and being a little bit different here and there. And I do think that a lot of it is to do with maybe your personality and how you're kind of moving towards these new things. There's a lot of kind of pushing, I think, going on with this too, but it does feel like there's a little bit less immediacy with this card. I'm not quite sure how else to put it. It just feels like there's so much less to do with this particular instance, that maybe you're trying too hard in some respects, or you're trying to do something different, but it does feel as though there's a little bit less energy maybe in the second week of September. The main thing that I take from this, though, is that there's such a strong personality that's coming through from this victory. You don't really have to worry if you've had to let somebody go. You don't have to really concern yourself if it feels like maybe there's a change coming, because the power of Scorpio is about change. I know some people who've been wronged by their job and they've decided to leave, but then shortly after, that company's gone into administration, or that company's had to really regroup, or the manager that wronged them has been fired. So we're basically all about change. If we're wronged, it doesn't really matter about what we do to right it. The universe and karma kind of writes it itself. So we're becoming this kind of person through our negotiation, through our power from the spirit world. And I'm not saying everybody should be like, oh, spirit all the time, because we need the balance of here and now. Otherwise, there's no point. But I do think that you're going to get some kind of higher end thing, and you're going to have that barrier maybe lifted that seems to come through. But again, maybe a little less energy, because I think you may have done a lot of kind of pushing forwards here. But when we have the Three of Cups, now I always love the Three of Cups because it just basically celebrates 3 reasons for a good time. You've got friends around you, you've probably got some achievements emotionally and professionally to celebrate, and then maybe somebody close to you has a reason to celebrate too. And I do think this is all about coming together with those that actually mean a lot to you. I would say that this is about community as well, and the emotion that that community stirs. But as it's over the Nine of Wands, it could be that there's a little bit of resistance, or resilience here. So I think that there's a little bit of, hey, I'm not going to back down. Even though I may be celebrating, I still realize that I need to kind of keep fighting. So you're celebrating maybe a small victory here, but I'm still fighting. I'm still not backing down. I'm keeping going. When everybody else has given up, I'm not backing down. Now, it could be because you didn't back down, and because you didn't actually sort of throw your wand to one side, that you actually get what you want. So you could say, oh, screw this, I'm throwing the towel in, but you won't get this. So I think that's kind of what's coming through for you. Need to be a decision, but ultimately, it's a decision not to give up. It's a decision to carry on as you are. And to be honest, these last 2 cards are pretty darn good. The Chariot is all about having those choices that you need, and having those conversations maybe that are a little bit hard, But I do think that ultimately you will have to face a very strong direction. Again, you may be torn about which direction to go into. You may be sort of pulled to do one thing, whereas sometimes you really want to do another. But I honestly think that you are going to choose the right time. You can do it. You can proceed. You can put your mind to anything. Basically, it's kind of like a mantra, like, the road I take is the path I need, or something like that. I think that's something that you could do, because you have the Two of Wands here, so it's kind of like a 2 path and a 2 here. To be honest, I do think you're going to discover a lot about yourself. I do feel that you're going to kind of see the whole world as something that you can achieve, the whole world as something that you can discover. Because ultimately, this whole spread is about discovering. It's about enlightening yourself. It's about making sure that you can increase things, that you can kind of pull things together and very much improve your certain situation. I think that a lot of this is also about how you maybe incorporate your spirituality in every single day. For some of us, it's very hard. Even myself as a witch and tarot reader, sometimes it's very hard, and you can forget the spirit world's there, that the universe is there, because you get so worn down into the nitty-gritty of everyday life with everything that's happening in the world. You can just be like, oh gosh, really? And just things can kind of sway you a little bit. But this is about saying, look, remember that the universe has your back, and that you should have your back too. Because even though you have the Four of Cups here, which is maybe like, oh, I'm just ready to give up, you know, this is the energy of it, like, I don't really know whether I can do this anymore. What am I trying to achieve here? What am I trying to do? Basically, this is all you can achieve. This is, well, not all you can achieve, but a lot of what you can achieve. And think that this is actually absolutely something that's kind of increasing things for you in the better sense. I do believe that a lot of it is to do with you personally overcoming those obstacles, either that you set yourself or that others may seem to set in front of you. Because sometimes I don't think it's necessary for you to kind of say, oh, there's a barrier in place, I can't get over it. Yes, you can. Just go out and claim something. So let's see what these little runes have to say for you. Ooh, yes. Okay, good. Freya's rune, Feu, which is money, hope, luck, success, happiness, all the good things. So this is basically here. You have a lot to be proud of, but you have a lot to anticipate coming through to make you even prouder. So don't worry too much about yourself in that regard. I think it's a really good sign for you. I'm just going to see what all the runes have to say. Okay, so good. This is notice, and this is endurance, this is determination, but it's also patience. So again, we're seeing a theme here. We're seeing a little bit of joy and maybe some luck coming through, but also I would say, and protection, by the way, but I would say that this is more about this kind of keep going. I'm not giving up. This is a new beginning. I'm going to renew myself. I'm going to get rid of the old. I'm determined. I'm not going to stay here forever. I'm going to change my own destiny. So this is basically, if you put the work in, you can do it. And here we have a blank one, which is not very handy. Okay. Hey, okay, so this is a Rado, sorry. And this is basically about the dance of life. This is travel sometimes, maybe a bit of relocation. So it could be that, again, you kind of see yourself from the opposite side. Maybe you're kind of looking at things from a different way, a different angle, trying to manifest things in a different way, taking a day trip somewhere, you know, changing your perspective. Here we go. Oh, upside down. Okay, so this is Algiz, and this is basically about protection again, but this is hidden danger. So this is kind of like, I'm going to get a clarifier in a second, but this could be like maybe something taboo that you're not really sure whether to go with. And Scorpio rules the taboo, let's be honest. Scorpio is all over the occult and the taboo. Like if somebody says, no, 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 don't do that, Scorpio is probably going to be like, hey, I'm exploring this shit. I don't even care. So this is kind of like maybe a trepidation. Maybe you're worried about what's happening, what's going to come through. Maybe you're worried about the hidden dangers that could be out there if you choose one direction over another. Maybe you're worried about what the world's going to serve you if you choose to take a different change of path or something. But let me just have a look and see if we've got a clarifier rune here. Okay, so this is Isa. And it kind of came here, but I don't know. This is about the challenges. And I would say that, yeah, you're probably going to be worried about the challenges that you're bringing here. You're probably going to be quite concerned about, you know, whether you can step up to the challenges, whether your ego's talking rather than you are. Maybe the path that you're on is just an illusion and you don't really see that you're actually going to be somebody better, or you're worried about the kind of situation that maybe you've created this and maybe it's not going to amount to anything. Don't end the month with worry. Don't end that. Don't self-reject. Don't self-doubt. Keep going if you can, because I know you're going to need to restore your energy, and October is going to be quite a big month for a lot of you, but I do feel that this is just kind of the start of something new, and we have to be accountable for it, and we have to be willing to put the work in. We definitely have to be willing to put the work in here. But let me know how it goes. I really, really hope that everything goes well for you in September. It seems like a really good start, almost like a new year in a way. But have you got any plans for September? Are you trying to do something that this maybe fits in with? Let me know. I always love hearing from you. And also, if you do want a personal reading, email me lorientarot@gmail.com or the link to the website below. And I really hope there's quite a push for something new and you have all my blessings. Take care of yourself, and I look forward to reading for you again in October.